CODE Heist Contest 3 was as much as success as CODE Heist Contest 2, with more than 2,200 registrations and 1,500 plus participants competing for the win. We have created a queries voice channel on our Discord server for queries and doubts, which you all can refer to during the contest to get help for the issues if faced any. The link for our Discord server is provided in the chat box and also in the description. Moreover, before we start, there is a good news for you all. We bagged one more sponsor for our event, none other than the well renowned DigitalOcean, a scalable cloud infrastructure provider. Here is some information on DigitalOcean. You will receive these QR codes on email from where you can access the benefits. Today we have Aryaman Jain sir with us to help us with the questions and doubts. He is very well versed with DSA and competitive coding. Aryaman sir, you may please proceed. DSA and competitive coding. Aryaman
Just
sir,
one sec.
you may please proceed.
Okay, I'm also done. Hello everyone. So today I'll be taking a session for Code Heist Out session. So before starting on, let me ask you if there is any specific queries to any questions or in general for Code Heist, you can ask. Then we can do a poll for like specific questions, and then I can, if there is a majority for a question, then I can explain that question. So before starting, if there is any in general doubt related to Code Heist or any specific question, please go on. So, so I think there is no specific question. So please do a poll. If there is, please do a poll for all the questions. Then moderators, then I can check it out. Which questions have more doubts? Okay, so let's see the results of poll. So I see the question was a little doubts, and in Google form, question was also like it's a little hard to understand. So there was a general doubt that the questions were little hard to understand. It took 15 to 10 minutes to just understand the question. So that is the point of competitive coding, that the questions are not directly given. They're like not statement given. Just find a peak in the array or just find a leading member of an array. It's given in such a way that first you need to find what is the general idea of the question, then you need to find the logic. So this was introduced in this question. So that was the idea behind it. So the question is not supposed to be direct. So there was no like the question will be designed as such a way it is very vague. The question was supposed to be like that. So first you need to understand the question, what it's trying to explain, and then you need to find the algorithm. So first, and I'll give a general explanation of both the question, and then we can I can start explaining them. So the first question was, there were n people in the line and they are standing facing front. So let me say there are n people. So the facing front will be that they are pointing in the same direction. Okay. And let me say this is the front. So they are all pointing in the same direction. Now everyone can only see people in front of them. So what does this say? So this guy, the second guy, can only see people in front of them. He can't see the people in back, right? You need to tell the index of each person who thinks they are the tallest in the group. So who will think they are the tallest in the group? Any person who that sees that only smaller people are in front of them, will think he is the tallest in that group. So, for example, this third person, there's only, for example, let's take his height. Uh, let's take this height 5, 4, 5, 3, and 2. Okay. So his, let me do one more. Right. Okay. Let's start from front one. So his height is 2. He can't see anyone. Right. So in his general idea, in his brain, he is the tallest one because in the people he can see, he is the most height one, right? So for the second one, he also thinks he's the tallest one because he can only see the people whose height is less than him. Similarly for 5, he thinks he's the tallest one because he can only see 3 and 2. But the 4 can see the 5 one. So he will not think tallest person because he knows there is a taller person whose height is more than me in front of me in ahead. Similarly for 3. So that's why they will not think they are the tallest person, and only these 3 will think they are the tallest person. So this was the general idea of the question 1. And let me say question 2. So in question 2, there's a stack of gold in a triangle form, in this form. Helsinki decided to take gold, but he could took only take the gold bar just below or just right to the bottom one. So what you have to do, you need to take the gold bar, and when you take the next gold from the next level, you can take either the bottom one or bottom to right. So this one. So similarly, if you take 3 here, you need to take 6 or 5. If you take 2 here, you need to take 4 or 6. Every gold have a different price. You need to tell the max value he can get. So the maximum value he can get by taking gold bar from each level. So he decided to take 1, 3, and 6. He decided to take from each level, and the general idea he is was that he need to take the bottom one or right to the bottom one. So you can take 2 or 3, and if you took 3, you can take 6 or 5. If you took 2, you can take 4 or 6. Okay, so this was the general idea of these two questions. Let me see that is there any doubt before proceeding. Okay, so there was one more doubt a lot of people having that the pattern one. The problem was that uh, every person, like few of the person, were printing an end line after the pattern, right? So that was causing the problem because in the test case there was no end line there. Okay, so due to that, the test case was failing. Okay, so let me start with the first question. So tallest person. So okay, so one sec. So let me take the test case 347223. Okay, so okay, so let's take this case. We need to check how is there any number which is greater than ahead of it. So if this is the case, he will not think he is the tallest person, right? So for 3, we can say he is not tall. He will think he is the tallest person because there is no person in front of them. Similarly, for 2, he will not think. 7 will think because only a smaller person in front of them. So he will think. He will think, and no one else. So we need to somehow. So if we try brute force, so brute force how we need to check? We'll go to each index and we will check is there any number greater after that. So we will go to 3. There is any number greater after that. We will go to 4 if there is any number greater after that. Or we can do, or what we can do, we need to just check the tallest person, right? We need to take the tallest person till now and check if this person is taller than that person or not. Okay, what I mean to say, like if we want to check to think he is the tallest or not, what we need to check, we need to find the tallest person in front of him and see if his height is taller than him or not. If his height is taller than him, he will be the tallest person. He will think he is the tallest person, and he will be the tallest person till now. And we can just repeat this process to find that if a person thinks he is the tallest person or not. So let me code it. Then it will be more clear. So in T C N T. Okay. So while T minus minus. int n c n. Okay, so n will be the numbers. Then we need to take the array. Will be bits. We will take an as input. Now we will iterate from. We need to check the tallest person till now, and we need to check the current side. So the tallest person for till now, let's say it's tallest person till now is equal to -1, and for int I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. So if we need to check from behind, right? So it will be n minus 1. It will be greater than is equal to 0, and it will be I minus minus. If array I is greater than the tallest person till now, then we will say is equal to array I, and we need to push that answer in the vector. So vector int answer, and we can just push this in the answer dot push back. So this should work out. So what is the order given? Let me check this. A third and first and third. So first and third side, we just need to print the index for int I in answer, see out answer e and here, nice space, and see out. Okay, we should work out. Let's give this as the input. So 1 5 control V and execute it. Question 2, question 1. Okay. It's taking too much time. There's some issue. It's taking too much time. Okay. 5 control C Windows V. Okay, so the okay V V verify. So 4 and 2. So second person and the fourth person. So second index 0 1 2 and 3 4. Okay, this is right. So this was this one. Okay. So let's take another test case. Let me take from the contest only. So let me find a test case from the contest and we can try it out. Tallest person, test cases. Okay, so this test case should work out. Okay. So yeah. So we okay, so this is a test case. So the 11 will think he is the tallest person, 80 will think 8, now 20 will think, then no one will think. So the answer should be n minus 1, so 19, 17, 15, 14. Okay, so let's try it out. 19, 18, and 15. Also, wait, 19, 18, 16, 14. Wait, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15. Right, yeah. So 19, 18, and 15. So this was the answer for this. So this was the general idea behind the question, and this was the way we can do it. So the brute force was that we can just check for each index and then we can iterate in front of him and find if there is anyone taller than him. And this will take the complexity will be n square. And in the question was given that the size of n can be 10 to the power 6. So if we implement a n square complexity, then it will be 10 to the power 12 somewhat, which will take a lot of time to run. So we can't use this. So that's why we need to find something less than that, that can be n or n log n. And this is the n complexity one. So it will take 10 to the power 6 iterations, which will be much less. So we can now see the second question. So the second question was, we need to take gold from stack. We need to take from each level, and we need to take from each level. From each level, if we take any gold, we can take the bottom one or bottom to right one. So this was the idea behind it. So the general idea can be, we can uh, take all the path, which will be 2 key power and which will take a lot of time, which as brute forces will be very take a lot of time. So we need to find time complexity. I think this has 10 to the power 4. So we can do a n square complexity here. So let me show what can be the general idea here for the question. So let me take this test case only. So this is the test case. So let assume we will ending at 5. So if we are ending at 5, then the path from it should be uh, can only be 3, right? So we can only come to 5 from 3, right? And from 6, we can only come to 6 from 2 or 3. So from 3, we can only go to 6 or 5. So, but we will always choose the best here, right? So we can choose 6 here and add it to here. So here it will be 9. Similarly, for 2, we can choose the best here and add it. So it will be 7, 8. So what now the problem is reduced, because from here we know the best answer will be here and we will always go here. And from here we know the best answer was 6, we will always go there. So we have reduced our problem to 2 level now, because we took the best answer from the third level, so we know it is the most optimal answer. Now the our problem is reduced to 2 level. We can repeat this process and we can do it again. So we will take the max here and then we can choose a max and add it here. So it will be 10. And the problem is reduced to 1 level, and which is the answer here. So if the problem is more level, let me take another test case from the contest only. So it will explain more here. So the one challenge is gold star test cases. So this is the one. Okay, this is test case. So okay. So we can reduce level by level. What we will do, we will find a best answer for this level and reduce the problem to n minus 1 levels. So let's we need to reduce the problem here. So from 3, the best option will be to go to 25, right? So we will always go to 25 from 3. So we will add here, it will be 28. From 23, the best option will be 2 or 25. So, but we will always choose 25 here. So the it will be 58, sorry, 48. Now, for 12, we can go either to 7 or 2. We will always choose 7. So it will be 19. From 0, we will choose 7. For 26, we will choose 5. So on and so forth. We can do this process. Then we can get a level where we choose the best answer for nth level, and the problem is reduced to n minus 1 levels. Then we can reduce to n minus 2, then we can reduce to n minus 3, and we can repeat to so on until one level is only left, and that will be our answer. So I can implement this, then we can check it out. So let me control Z this test case, then it will be okay. Control Y. So this out also. So this is the test case. So first is n is given, and then it will be a 2D vector. So because we need to take the each level also in consideration, vector and vector. We need to don't need to do this. This should work out. We'll take the input for int I is equal to 0 I less than n I plus plus. We will take for int I is equal to j is equal to 0, j less than n, j less than is equal to n, and j plus plus. Okay, and then we can just take int x in x and vi dot push back x. So then we will get a pyramid style input here. Now we can implement it. So what we need to do for n minus 1 level, so I is equal to n minus 2, sorry, because n minus, the next will be n minus 2 here, and greater than is equal to 0, I plus plus. And what we need to do for int j is equal to 0 and j less than I, right? So for n minus 1, there will be less than is equal to I, sorry. So it will be j plus plus. And then we can simply do uh, the I will be here 1, j will be 0, right? So we can do array I is equal I comma j is equal to plus is equal to max of array I plus 1, because we are going to next level, and j because we can take the bottom one, or I, oh, it's v, so let me do v here, and issue. So v, and we can do I plus 1 because we are going to next level, and then j plus 1 because it will be right to the bottom one, and we can choose the max and add it to vij, and our answer will, it will reduce, we are going from bottom to top, so the problem is reduce, reduce, and reduce, then the answer will be simply at the top, so it will be v0 comma 0, and we can print this out. So let's first test out for simple test case, so which was 1 3 3 and 2, execute. Now there should be 10 here if there is no error. There is segmentation fault. Let me do to vi dot size to reduce any problem. It will be n size I minus k is equal to 0. Okay, so we should be doing n I minus minus 12. So what we are doing here, max of vi plus 1. Okay, so 12 answer that. So we are doing something wrong here. 1 3 4 5 6. The input is correct. Indexing vi push. Oh, sorry. It will be I. Okay, so I miswrote here. There was a typo here. I wrote I. It should be n, because at the ith level there will be I plus 1 elements. So it's 0 index. There will be 1 element. For n1 index there will be 2 elements. So that's why. So this was the general solution for this problem. So let me try this test case. Let us see. Comment it out. Control V and execute. So the answer for this should be 222, and this is 222. So this was like more uh, a DP problem where we are reducing the problem using DP, and the first one was a normal air iteration problem. So I think only there was a difficult question in division one, or there were much simpler question in division two. So there was pattern finding, peak problem, and as far as I remember, there was a pattern problem, a peak problem, and a trailing zeros factorial. So let me see if there is any doubt in those problems, then I can uh, check those also. So there is no doubt. I'll wait for 5 minutes. If there is any doubt, you can ask, and then we can end the session. So Um, I think there is no more doubt. I'll still wait for 5 minutes. Okay, so the moderator says there is no more doubts, so we can end the session here. So if there is any doubt to, you can just ping me. I think my number, my there I am available on Discord, so you can ping on Discord. Then if I could help, I will really be glad to help you. So you can just ping me, okay? And I think there is one-on-one session after this also. So if you have any problem, you can come there also. Thank you. Arush, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Araman sir. It was really an informative session. If you still have any doubts, you can join Araman sir for one-to-one session for doubt solving. Link is in the description and the chat box. All the solution for the code heist will be posted on our GitHub organization. Join with the link in the description and the chat box. See you all next week. Code Heist Contest 4, that is on 12th Feb, 3 to 4 p.m.